Hello again. My name is Mike. I am a chaplain with Trinity of Christ Ministries. I'm also a relationship coach specializing in fidelity and intimacy. And today we're going to talk about the types of affairs that we often experience in a relationship. There are usually six types of affairs that most people will deal with um, if they experience an affair in their marriage. Um, the first type of affair is what's commonly referred to as the one night stand. This type of affair uh, is one usually of poor judgment. Oftentimes there's alcohol involved. Alcohol is an inhibitor for sound judgment, as we all know. And it is often used as an excuse when someone had a one night stand. Uh, I was drunk. I didn't realize, what I was doing. And uh, let me just say, in my younger days, I wasn't always a minister. So I have a little experience with this, and I can tell you, I've never had enough alcohol to where I didn't know I was cheating. Uh, it'll make you care a lot less. That's true. But you know what you're doing, regardless of what the excuse is. Um, the second type of affair is what in coaching we call limerence. Um, this is often mistaken for love with some people who are having affairs. They'll think they're in love, but it's not really love. It's a chemical reaction in the brain that makes this person develop an unhealthy um, an unhealthy attachment to another person that they really don't love. They love the way that it makes them feel, but they're not really in love with the person that they're cheating with. Uh, a third type of an affair is called is a serial cheater. Uh, some counselors and I know I'm going to be on the I'm going to be out here on a limb by myself probably when I say this. If you come to me for counseling and you're a serial cheater or you're with a serial cheater, to be honest, I am not going to tell you to try to save that marriage because it's just almost a waste of time and an impossibility. Serial cheaters likely face some bad trauma as a child or as an adolescent, and they will justify in their minds they're cheating all the time. And the chances of them ever being faithful in a marriage is very, very unlikely. So the fourth type of affair we have are uh, the entitlement affair. This is where the person feels like that they're entitled to have their marriage and their affair. They don't see any conflict. They think that they're entitled to this, that, why not? Why can't I feel good? Why do I have to choose one or the other? Um, this is very damaging. It's a very bad train of thought. But you do see that unfortunately in some people. Um, the fifth type is probably uh, what everybody knows is an emotional affair. This is where we're just friends. I swear, we're just friends. Um, doesn't have to be physical to be cheating. Let's not play that game because it's simply not true. And if you believe that, you are either delusional or lying to yourself or both, because uh, it's still cheating. The just friends thing, that's, we hear it all the time. And it's usually a justification in their minds, and it's simply garbage. Um, the sixth type of affair is somebody that has a love addiction. This is something that they're constantly seeking validation. They will often be cheating with multiple people at the same time. This, we really usually don't think about that. We think, well, when somebody's cheated on it, well, they're seeing this other person. And in some cases, they're seeing other persons instead of just one person. And this is a validation issue. This is where this person has a mental psyche that makes them believe they constantly need validation. They constantly need somebody to chase them, to tell them how wonderful they are, to, you know, uh, express feelings for them. It's really a me, 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 me type of situation. So to go over these briefly, the one night stand is a very painful experience. Cheating is cheating. Even though it only happened one time, it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't mean that, you're obligated to reconcile, because you're not. Uh, and I'm not trying to minimize, the one night stand. But I will say that in my experience, most of the time, a one night stand is a lapse in judgment, and it's probably the easier one of the affairs to get past. Not saying it is easy by any means. If the person has experienced it, will tell you it's not easy, but it's probably easier to cope with mentally as the betrayed, as a lapse that this person had a lapse in judgment, rather than, a full-blown affair. And again, I'm not trying to minimize. I'm just saying that of the betrayal, this is probably one of the easier ones to get past. Uh, Limerence, of course, as you said, is where this person thinks they're in love, but they're really not in love. It's the dopamine hits they're getting in the brain, the affair fog that's clouding all the judgment. Uh, this one is happens very often, very common, and it it can be one that's really bad because it absolutely destroys everything it touches. It burns everything to the ground. The sad reality of a limerence affair is once the limerence lives, and limerence is like think of it as a nuclear bomb filled with dopamine and all these other chemicals that are giving this person this really high feeling. And to get this high, it's the same as someone with a drug addiction. It's someone who constantly needs this hit over and over and over to get this euphoria, to get this feeling. And this person is the one the one that they're cheating with is the one is basically their dealer. They're the ones that's supplying this hit. And this affair destroys everything. It burns everything to the ground. And the worst part is eventually the person will come out of limerence and realize what's happened. The problem with that is by that time, it's usually too late. They've destroyed everything. So it's probably one of the worst affairs that we deal with as coaches, counselors. Um, the third one is a serial cheater. I'll probably seem a little cold-hearted on this. I don't waste much time on these people because there's no point. They're not going to change. They're or I shouldn't say they're not ever going to change, but I can tell you this, that it's extremely rare. Extremely rare. This person has always cheated. They've cheated in every relationship they've ever been in, and they will continue to cheat in every relationship in their future. Doesn't matter if they're married, doesn't matter if they're just engaged or just boyfriend and girlfriend. They're always going to cheat. This is probably due to some trauma that they had as a child or as an adolescent in some way. Maybe their father was a serial cheater, cheated on their mom all the time, or maybe it was the mom cheating on their dad. But either way, it's still no justification. Is, no matter what trauma you had, you know what you're doing. If your trauma is that bad, then you need to seek a psychiatrist and deal with that past trauma. Uh, that's how you fix that instead of running around and constantly cheating on everybody you're ever with. Um, the entitlement people, this is a narcissist trait. This is seen in narcissism. Uh, and it tends to go kind of above the coaching thing. This is better handled probably by a psychiatrist. This person, as I said before, they feel entitled to be married and have an affair and really don't see anything wrong with it. They think they justify it by saying, I deserve this. Um, number five, the emotional affair, that's what we like to call the just friends. Uh, this is a person that's given their emotions to a person outside of the marriage and then trying to justify it by saying, well, it's not physical. We're just friends. They get me. They understand me. There's someone to talk to. Uh, you're lying to yourself or they're lying to you because uh, what's the barometer to know if it's went past friendship? Well, it's very simple. If you're divulging information on an intimate level about your affair, about your marriage partner, then yeah, it's probably an emotional affair. If you wouldn't say something to this person that you wouldn't say with your marriage partner standing beside of you, then yeah, it's an emotional affair. Doesn't have to be physical to be damaging. Emotional affairs can be devastating, especially for women. Um, and the love addiction, the validation, the person that may have multiple partners. Uh, this goes into usually um, a lack of love growing up. Uh, you may see this in people who spent time in foster care, some of their childhood. This is common with them because um, they really didn't feel loved or welcomed where they were at any point. So as they become adults, their brain has been hardwired to seek it somewhere else. They seek it, even though you may love them completely and treat them wonderful, in their brain, they're constantly seeking validation to fit in somewhere, seeking these people to tell them how much they love them and they're needed, and you know, uh, and this is what they seek out. So I just wanted to go over that for guidance to some people who may be trying to figure out what's going on with their partner or maybe even themselves. Um, this is not all inclusive, assessment, but yeah, I just wanted to give you an idea of what might be going on with you or the person that's having an affair. Uh, Again, my name is Mike. I'm with Trinity of Christ Ministries. You can check us out at trinityofchrist.org. You can also find us on Facebook. This is part of an ongoing series on infidelity and intimacy issues that couples face. If you'll join us in the future for more of these types of videos. Uh, if you like what you heard, hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. God bless you.